And welcome to Scholastic Sports Stadium as the North Sydney Bears take on the Gosford City Rebels under 18 in the state championship. North Sydney puts on their undefeated record for the season after taking out the Metro Championships this year against Gosford City Rebels, who dropped a couple of games early in the season, but after that came really good and have gone through to take out the CPL championship, and now both teams come into the finals undefeated in pool play. Starting lineup for the Gosford City Rebels: number 11, Tom Akamarmoy; number 7, Matt Kenyon; number 8, Ollie Rebelliard; number 5, Charlie Granger; and number 6, Richmond Whitmore. For the North Sydney Bears, number 7 is Jamie Zabo; number 10, Lewis Stenmark; number 8, Kieran Hayward. We have number 13, Jordan Hunter. And lastly, to round out, number 5, Lachlan Purley. North Sydney wins the tip, and we're off. Richmond Whitmore for the early 2, and Gosford City takes a 2-0 lead. Quick foul on Ollie Rebelliard, his first. Baseline ball, North Sydney Bears. Foul on Jack Dorley, his first. Takes North Sydney Bears to 1-team foul. 7:23 in the first quarter remaining. Score 4-2 to the North Sydney Bears. Last 3 possessions have been turnovers for the Gosford City Rebels, so they're going to really need to concentrate on getting some consistency on the offensive end and controlling the ball. A steal and a basket by Charlie Granger takes the scores back to 4-all. We welcome to the commentary Tim Hudson, legendary coach and Sydney Kings championship player.
Thanks, Eddie. I appreciate the intro. It's an exciting game. See these boys lifting up to this level is a special thing. You know, the interesting thing about this team, Eddie, is being such a guard-heavy team and how they handle bigger opponents. You look at the North's team; they got a lot of size here, and it takes a lot of savviness to be able to adapt to that and use it to their strength.
You're 100% right, Tim. We've actually found all year long, every game we've gone into, we found that we were always the smaller team, but just seemed to make up for that lack of height with some ticker. Yeah,
absolutely. You see just there. Moose's got the boys in an early double down the block, forcing them to shoot from the perimeter. It's just exactly along the lines of what we're talking about. So it'll be interesting to see how this continues to play out. So there it goes again. Quick early double. There's a lot of disruption. Talking to Moose before the game, Eddie, he was talking about we just got to disrupt this team. We disrupt it up the floor, in the half, whatever it takes to really give them different looks and make them focus on playing the Gosford City team.
Yeah, you'll find, especially coming up against a big team, like you said, that really the lack of height gives a bit more quickness, but that disruption is what's really gotten them to pick up some really good victories earlier in the season and brought them undefeated through this state championship so far.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's definitely been a challenging season for them as well. I mean, it's not all been slippery slide for them. There's been plenty of ups as well as the downs. So yeah, it's nice to see them find a bit of consistency.
Last foul was called on Stenmark, number 10 for North Sydney, his second personal foul and third team foul.
So there you go. There's the effects of the bigger team, athletic team, being able to pull down those offensive rebounds. That's a big factor for Gosford City in this game. You mentioned, Stenmark. He's a very athletic, high performer down in Sydney. There's a lot of big names here with this North squad, that's for sure.
A little wide on that shot. Going to be Gosford City's ball on the base.
That's definitely what they want to do. Want to try and force a lot of perimeter shots, a lot of rush shots. You see there with their style of play, they really stretch it out. Gosford City try and get a lot of dribble drive action, open up the keyway so they can really penetrate and really utilising their strength and their quickness as guards. There you go. There's a double team again. Force a pass over the top. Gosford City looking to stretch out and hit the open floor.
This guy here has been on fire for the last few games. Hunter Murray, unfortunately unsuccessful on that attempt. You can really see this offense is really trying to punch the ball inside down in North.
And I find it very interesting. There's another turnover right there. There's the disruption again. Find it interesting. There's not a lot of high pressure. Now listen to the crowds getting right into
Jacob
this.
Prackno's just come in for Richmond Whitmore. Great job on defense to start the game off from Richmond.
Yeah. That's great. It's great to see the introduction of, again, another quality guard coming into the game.
And Karekas has really been knocking down the shots, shooting very well in the early parts of the state championships, and we hope that to continue for the finals.
So that's a very tough guard. There it is again. Stretch the floor, create a one-on-one situation. They have to help. And that, lucky enough, he drew the foul there. I'll go back to the defense, Eddie. It was interesting to see the Rebels picking them up and creating a bit of space, sagging off a lot in the half just to try and disrupt the passing angles as opposed to the disruption up the floor right now. I imagine that Moose will change that. Being sitting with him and the high pressures of the NBL games is very tactical, and especially particularly with his defense.
You're 100% right. That's the one thing Moose has been teaching these guys and really preaching to them all year long. It's been the pressure defense is not about how good or how bad you are at basketball. It's about a mindset and having the heart to get out and put the effort in. And the boys have really bought into it this year.
Yeah, you can certainly see that right now. They're all connected, jumping. Again, a lot of switching Ds, a lot of we used to run this a lot with the Sydney Kings. I won't tell you what the name of it was because it's probably not appropriate for commentary. But yeah, it's something that Gordy McLeod uses a lot with his matchup zone, switch and sag, and just creates a lot of disruption. And really creates a lot of self-doubt to the opposition, especially if they want to penetrate, especially if they want to post. All of these things an athletic, bigger team would like to do.
Free throw good, takes the score to 8-7. And again, you'll find Rebels, there you go, attacking the basket.
There it is
Quickness,
again, Eddie.
penetration, as you said, being disruptive on the defense and then trying to be quick and aggressive on the offensive end.
Oh, here comes another double team. Aggressive. Oh, forced another turnover.
Yeah, it's a bit of a push off. Like I said, they're trying to punch the ball inside, but if you got quick guys that are fronting and behind, it's really making sure that you can actually be disruptive on the defense rather than having to go for the steal. You can make the teams make mistakes rather than having to get a steal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I find this interesting. Really stretching it out. A lot of dribble handoff stuff, creating the dribble drives. Let me ask you this, Eddie. Having a young son here who's a point guard in this squad, it must be very unique to look around the court and have 4 point guards on the court at any one time.
It is. It's true. But again, you have guys that play that position standardly. They have to be high IQ guys. And if you can actually have 5 guys playing at a high IQ level, it really helps with being able to make wise decisions, shall we say, rather than just kind of going out and just, I suppose, trying to get by on just talent alone.
Oh, no doubt about it. You speak about that. We've got Ollie Rebilliard inbounding the ball, and he's a kickback guy to make decisions on the trap. He's probably one of the smartest point guards going around, very selfless player, so to be able to have that as a trail position is very unique. See, again, transition basketball, and they're forced to pick up to pull up for the transition jump shot as opposed to attacking the ring. The strategy's certainly working. Again, another turnover, switching the other way.
And one!
Back in transition.
Again, as you said, getting out, running. 5 guys that can all play the point position, looking to share the ball around. On the break, Tom goes to the hole, sinks the 2, and draws the foul for the and 1 coming.
Yeah, no doubt about it, mate. It's interesting. You see the foul count at 5 fouls each. It's a very physical game, and I guess given the shooters that sit in the Rebels team, it's definitely working to strategy, you would think. Yep. I think Norths have really got to do a better job of settling in the half court. They've got to find a way to get their bigs involved. They've got to find a way to stretch it and use their athleticism with good timing. But right now, I think it's certainly playing into the hands of Gosford.
I would totally agree with you. I don't think that they've actually come up against this type of pressure so far this season. Again, as I made mention earlier, Norths are putting up for an undefeated season after going through the whole Metro season undefeated.
Yeah, well, that's right, Eddie. That's a unique pressure in itself. If you've gone through a season as being totally undefeated, You have the expectation to take out the title. It really does, add a great deal of pressure, especially when the disruption happens, because you're not only playing against your opposition, you're playing against your own expectations, the expectations of your team and your club. So you're right, it is very unique, and then not only that, you talk about the makeup of the team being being a guard-orientated team that would probably be very different to what they've been taking on in Sydney.
The boys are really focused on zeroing in, getting to the basket tonight. You find earlier in the rounds we're relying a bit more on the jump shots, but you can see the boys are really attacking and trying to get to the cracks in the middle, dishing off or taking it to the hole. And that time, Jacob Crackner was able to draw the foul on the drive and to the line, sinks the first, and with the second to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, while both teams are, loaded up in the foul count, you're right. The difference is the element of how they're attacking the rim. They're attacking it with speed. They're attacking it in good timing. So here now they've changed it up. They're back to the full court press as opposed to just sitting in the sagging, switching man. So there'll be a lot of changes here. Oh, definitely
like a bit
check
of a bar
there.
arm there.
I think that's a big breather, a nice relaxer for North hitting that big shot. I'm sure that'll go a long way for their team.
Yeah, they needed that basket.
Oh, sense a little beat in their step now. I think that was a big shot for them. There they're going straight back to their strength, straight inside. Eddie, momentum's a funny thing, mate. Momentum will change the game in a heartbeat, and that's where I think, the Rebels really need to focus on, keeping this disruption up and keeping stable in it and keeping them off their mental track.
Yeah, you're 100% right. That last three-point basket just seemed to lift him. Just that little bit of confidence you can see in that last possession down here. Was able to draw the foul, sink the basket, go to the line. Unfortunately, missed the free throw.
20 seconds on the clock, mate. I suggest they'd be waiting.
Rebels normally go flat and look to create one-on-one activity with Matt Kenyon.
Oh, a bit of a delay on the clock there. Hopefully they can get that back. An extra couple of seconds will help them with the execution, I'm sure.
Yeah. 2-point lead, 15-13, 6 seconds to go in the quarter.
As Moose says down there, plenty of time. I must say, you got Robbie McKinley talking to the referees down there. He's a very, very, very smart coach, Eddie. He coached at the prestigious Augusta State. He's actually responsible for getting us Ben Madgen at the Sydney Kings. There's not too many more experienced with youth coaches coming through, and Damien Cotter's a big fan of him, and he's now come on board with the Sydney Kings, so that's exciting stuff.
Well, mate, you're 100% on the money there, because I don't really know him from seeing him this weekend, and just looking at his team, you can tell he knows what he's doing. His team is well drilled. They execute. They don't go away. All his players know what their roles are, know what the strengths are, and play to that. And, you don't see the flair and the one-on-one showmanship that a lot of the juniors try to go with these days. They're a well-drilled outfit, and I would attribute a lot of that to their coach.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you've been lucky to experience that environment at Augusta State. A lot of people don't know this, but there would be at least 10 to 15 NBL players that have come out of that program. Sydney Kings players alone, you've got the likes of Gary Budnikoff, Cam Tovey, there's many, Russell Hinder, Kavossi Franklin, who was a part of the very first championship team as an import. So yeah, mate, he's there's been some impressive company that have joined Robbie, of coming out of that program and into the NBL.
Ooh, that last second play went astray a little bit. Almost gave up a 3-point shot from halfway to in the quarter. That would have been disastrous after playing so well early in the quarter. To go in with a deficit would have hurt.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's definitely a fun game, mate. This is really exciting, and looking forward to what we see out in the next quarter, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, Eddie, it's pretty impressive. We're talking about under 18s and the level of technology we have here. You see Daniel there with the iPad laptop in his hands. They've been using it as a useful tool. They have a stats program, I believe, and they got it all linked to be able to give real feedback to their players.
Well, you'll find with the level of commitment that Moose has put to the team and what he's expecting from his players, to be able to actually have live, up-to-date stats as they're playing at the end of each quarter and be able to quickly recount to it and be able to see what players are doing and turnovers, assists, that type of thing is, it's very knowledgeable, but it's at the same time very helpful.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's really exciting to see. I think Gosford City is really pushing out here, and on part with this live streaming from Luke McCoy at VPA, it's really exciting stuff to be able to tap into technology. And the next step, mate, is to go from those live stats and link it up to video, and that's a thing that we can do. There's a lot of good sports programs that we have. Which leads me to talk to young Eric Barrett. We have a kid with cerebral palsy in our club who's right now at this time cutting video up for the Championship men, for the Crusaders Championship men, and also works with the Sydney Kings. So to be able to do that for a young 16-year-old who's spent time, I sent him personally over to work with the LA Lakers and the Washington Wizards, which was just a really humbling experience that people would take the time out to work with such a young, special kid.
Yep.
So there we go again, 5 out, mate, really stretching out the floor. It's a unique position to be able to have that kind of spacing. Good pick up there, trying to slow the game down. And again, looking for the Seals.
Yep. Like I said, number 10 he's been a dominant player inside all week, but nobody has actually been able to front him like that and just really get a body on him to make him have to use those type of arms. And picks up his second foul. That's Jordan Hunter, and early in the second quarter, he's been one of the key features for him all the state championships. So one is really good to be able to get him out of the game early.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You see Norths have made an adjustment also. You notice quite a heavy sag on their defence to try and take away the dribble drive opportunities. And the Rebels have switched straight back into their rub pop X. Yep. See the nice little screen across and open up their big guy for a nice little easy bucket. This is interesting basketball, mate. We're tic-tacking back and forth. There's a lot of strategy and a lot of adjustments. And that's the beauty of basketball. Basketball, in its simple sense, is an act and react game. There we go again, mate. The rub pop X, stretching the floor, kicking it back, screen, pop out for a triple.
I'll tell you what, these boys are on the under 18s, mate, but I haven't seen many ABA or NBL teams, for that matter, execute on an offense that well.
Oh, settle down, mate. Are you trying to have a shot at me here, Eddie? No, you're right, mate. This is a really, really good level of basketball, and execution is great. But again, you play great defense. You get to open up and play on the open floor like this. Makes the game fun. And you can hear that in the crowd, Eddie.
Yep, that's 100% right, Tim.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Little shimmy there, open them up in the little one-on-one play. Geez, they're doing a good job of disruption here.
Yeah. I think there you go, Phil. A timeout definitely has to be coming. Oh, as we mentioned it, there goes the timeout. They need it. Score runs out to 22-13.
Yeah, Robbie will have some good words. There you go, Daniel here, getting straight into his computer. Daniel Rowe. His daughter Danica is an absolutely sensational player. She's a really bright prospect for the future. I know Shannon Seabohm, head coach of the Sydney Uni Flames, has really got his eye on her. She's a talented prospect coming out of this very own association.
Yeah, well, she went down and had a run with Sydney Flames last year as a development player. Halfway through the year, got brought into the squad full time, and this will be her second season. And again, seeing her flourish and how she's grown as a player from being down there with those girls. I mean, I haven't seen a female player run the lanes the way she does. And again, we're really hoping to bring ABA back into the Central Coast Crusaders next year. And if so, that'll be one of the key players that we're targeting to bring back home and play for our local club.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's exciting. Tell us a little bit more about that, Eddie. I'd like to, put that out there. I mean, we've definitely got some great girls in this association.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of girls that either stopped playing or had gone down to Sydney to play ABA because we didn't have the teams nominated for our own local association. So we've introduced the Premier League, and we've actually found that a lot of the girls have come in playing at a very high level. It's going really well, and they're all keen to get back into ABA if we can get a team up and going, and I have no doubt that we will.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Oh, Richmond Whitmore for three. Ollie with the assist from the post.
Oh, that jump shot, mate. That looks familiar, Eddie. I've seen that on a Thursday night, mate, coming from you.
Oh, mate, I had to give him a rap. I missed a couple of his early shots when I was filming earlier, so I thought I'd better give him a little bit of a call out then.
Chip off the old block. Jeez, look at the intensity on these rebounds, mate. It really is a physical, hard-playing game. And you wouldn't expect any different out of Moose's boys, would you?
Well, not only that, I mean, even
or
with
Robbie's
North.
for that
Yeah,
matter.
exactly. I mean, these guys haven't gotten to be Metro and country champions by coming out and playing soft.
So now that's smart from North. They've really played away from that, not really got hard at the rim and utilised their athleticism. Obviously, Robbie's made some serious adjustments to their philosophy, style of play.
Yep. That takes both teams to one team foul in the second quarter. Again, nobody's really in trouble there, but again, Norths really need to pick that foul up and get to the line just to kind of settle themselves back into the game after dropping down by 12.
And here they are in the full court press again, trying to create that same disruption. Early double teams. It's dangerous against a team of guards, though, I got to tell you. We had the same issue, trying to create disruption with Bankstown last week, and I've got to tell you, mate, Jason Kadee gave me a serious headache. 54 points, multiple double teams and box and ones. He's just a special player. Oh, that's great transition, D. Playing with active hands. Again, Eddie. Great defense makes for fun offense, doesn't it?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And Tom's putting on the highlight film on that one.
You notice they're straight back to that sagging, switching D. They've changed it up multiple times here, mate, haven't they?
Yeah, that's exactly.
They've gone from the full court press back to a late pickup and switching man. It makes it very difficult for opposition teams to get a feel.
Especially when you're the guards trying to set up your offense, not knowing what the defense is going to do, does make for a tough execution.
Geez, that's a tough shot, Eddie.
As we say that, Brennan Reimer hits the three-pointer. Very nice shot then.
Yeah, it's very impressive, mate. Inside out and then pull up three. Probably not the vote of confidence from what the coach is looking for, but a tough shot nonetheless. Oh my.
In and out and all around. Tom seems to be really engaged in this game today.
Isn't he, White? I mean, he's just being really creative. He's being assertive. He's doing it at his own pace. It's impressive. And there he is getting a big defensive rebound. And a quick push out. Here he is again, Eddie. Uh-oh, a little showtime on that too.
Probably just about at that stage of the quarter, taking out back to a 12-point lead. Maybe just need to slow it down a little bit, just get your composure and just kind of run it at him. Early we started off taking the ball and driving to the hole, probably settling for a couple of jump shots on the last couple of possessions. But again, as you may mention before, now from a press, from man now into a 2-3. Just trying to disrupt the offense and get them thinking a little bit.
I got to say, Eddie, I'm not sure whether it's a 2-3, a man-to-man. That's a tough read. But I think that's the beauty of the defense. They're really creating a lot of confusion. Yeah, it's a tender time right now, Eddie. There's 5 minutes to go in the game, and the Rebels are up 12. But I got to say this too. I mean, both coaches done a great job of getting guys interchanged into the game and everybody involved. That's where they want it, mate. Close to the basket, a lot of penetration, and picking up the offensive rebounds, playing to their strengths.
100% right there. A deep three would have broke their hearts.
It definitely would have, Eddie. I think we're at, as I said earlier, it's a very tender time. I mean, what do we got now? 4 minutes to go. There's a 10-point buffer. If this stretches out to 15, it could put a lot of pressure on. If it gets closer, it gives North a lot of confidence.
Yep. Lockie Thorlow checks back into the game. Takes Jamie Sasbo out. The boys, all 10 of them look winded out there. It's a high intensity, high-paced game.
There we go again, Eddie. Clearly Norths have made an adjustment. They're really working on their penetration and getting to the basket.
That last foul is called on Matt Kenyon. That's an important foul. It takes him to his third foul with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. I would expect that Moose would probably, as we made the call, Moose would probably sub him out. Don't want him to give him a chance to make his fourth foul in the first half.
And, that's a big foul, mate. I mean, Matt Kenyon, he's a super talent, mate. He's really on the, at the forethought of the minds of a lot of Australia's top coaches. I know he's got a lot of interest. I've been speaking to a lot of colleges that are showing interest in Matty Kenyon. He's definitely a big prospect, and it's a tough sub. There you go. Back to the rub, Pop X. Nice pick. Nice open up. That's the kind of hands that you want to get it into. Ollie Rebilliard's cool as a cucumber, and the more the pressure that comes on, the better Ollie seems to get.
Yeah, I tell you what, one thing you'll find with Ollie is intelligence is at an all-time premium high. The kid is a very smart basketballer. He knows how to take advantage of defense. So, the guy's guarding him now, smaller player, able to take him inside. At the same time, knows when to take him out. He's been playing, at that level for a long time, for such a young player.
And I think, the uniqueness of a lot of kids get very temperamental about playing in their specific position. I mean, he's a point guard by nature, but here he's playing in the 4, he's playing in the 5. He's played every position already in this game today. So it's very unique for him in his own development to be able to continue to just chip and change. So there it is again, Eddie. Double team, quick double team in the post and looking out the run. They're the turnovers you don't mind too much. They're in transition. They're on the attack. There we go again, attacking the basket. Come up empty on that account. Again, you can hear Moose telling them to push out and explore. I think that's important. you don't want to show a team when you've got a lead that you're trying to relax, especially when they're turning over and missing buckets. Geez, that's great penetration. Tough shot, but that's the sort of look you want, isn't it, Eddie?
Exactly right. It was a positive, strong move, and he's not thinking about iffy. It's a strong move taken to the hole. Unfortunately, didn't get the roll, but again, that's the kind of shots you want.
Yeah, you see they've switched back up to their switching man again. It went from man to man to zone, back to man to man. Now they're switching man. Jeez, there's a lot of defenses here, Eddie.
Oh, here we go. Crackers for 3! And once again, Ollie Rebellion off the penetration, behind the back, pass back out, recognizing that the defense had collapsed, finds the open man for the 3.
Mate, they're really playing to their strengths. Young Crackers, he's one heck of a shooter. And again, talk about a chip off the old block. David Cracknell, another guy who's given a lot of people headaches in Sydney with his jump shot, especially that mid-range baseline pull-up.
Mid-range baseline on the left-hand side. I used to hate coming up against that.
Okay, now they've switched from their dribble drive back to their rub pop X. Oh, there we go again. That's cheap buckets. Oh. It's great effort from Ollie Rebellion on the offensive rebounds. But you see, mate, they're changing the offenses like they're changing the defense. As you said, the level of execution here and, spreading a team out and then looking to attack with little simple, screens around the basket.
It's like we were saying earlier, Tim. That's all about making the defense and the offense, for that matter, making them have to think. If they come down, they're running certain defenses. We can run up pop-X against a zone defense because it's all about knowing which player to screen and being able to set your opponents up for easy baskets.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how Robbie adjusts to this in the second half. The Rebels are definitely getting a lot of easy, cheap baskets here, especially with smaller guards. I mean, Ollie Rebellion's not a giant, neither's Tommy Akamarmoy, so, yeah. If you were Robbie, what would you be doing, mate?
I think you have to stick with what they've been doing, which has gotten them to be an undefeated season, which is punching the ball inside, taking it to the hole.
No, absolutely, mate. It's all about stability. I mean, maybe the defensive adjustment is maybe they need to, top block some of their screens so that, the guards can't get over. I mean, even though it's a cross screen, if they get there and block it early and not allow them to make that, make that cut off a screen, I think that could be a good tactic in this rub pop X.
And Brendan Reimer drops another jump shot. He has a nice smooth stroke.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself, Eddie. That was a really smooth one dribble bounce pull up. You can tell he's put a lot of hours into that jump shot. Oh, that's a nice pump fake. There you go again, talking about the intelligence, mate.
Yeah,
that's basketball at its finest, mate. That's just a simple move on a closeout, good read and attack space. And I must mention a little up and under for a little extra show. Not that there's anything about that with Ollie. He's all about just getting the job done, that's for sure. Oh, that's a nice little fake there by Richmond. They've been a little creative here, mate. That's a really nice step through.
Yeah, I'll tell
That's
you what.
Impressive basketball, Eddie.
Off the wrong foot, off the wrong hand, somehow just makes it happen.
And, mate, that's a really big push in basketball these days. I know European influence has had a lot in the NBA with, Derrick Rose really stepping out with the old Euro cut and Manu Ginobili. A lot of the kids in development are really working on these Euro steps.
It's important. You have to be able to get the ball to the shooter. Oh! That one just rims out at the end of the second quarter, taking us into halftime. Score 27-40. Rebels come out in the first half and just show what intensity is about, and the crowd cheers them as they walk off the court.
That crowd is going wild, isn't it? It's a great environment, mate. This is what you really hope for young aspiring kids, to be able to have the opportunity to play in front of a good crowd and have the opportunity to play under this kind of pressure. It's one thing to play intelligent basketball. It's one thing to be challenged in the course of the game. But when you're doing that with expectations of big crowds, and especially from your local community, it then becomes special, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you'll find you're 100% right. And one thing you will notice is with Moose, he will make sure that these boys come in in the second half with some high intensity, because he knows Norths have not gone undefeated for the whole season to come out in the second half lackadaisical. He knows they're going to lift, and I'm sure he'll have the boys prepared as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it, mate. Spending that time that I've spent with Moose, there's no stone unturned. As a father, from what I've heard, they've been having double sessions on a Wednesday, training in the morning as well as the afternoon, as well as their other sessions during the week. I mean, they've really put a lot into this, haven't they, mate?
I definitely have. I think I might have to send the club a petrol bill on the driving around. But I mean, even little things too. I know we're in the middle of winter here, but the boys go back to Moose's house after a CPL, and we had to have a recovery. Well, a recovery pool session. But he had a little bit of a laugh about it after he put the thermometer into the pool before they had to get in to make sure that it was nice and icy cold, which was 100% correct. So, just doing, like you said, no stones unturned, making sure we're doing everything we can to make sure that the boys are prepared, not only mentally but physically as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, you talk about, people, from the outside in, you just have a look at this and go, here's a bunch of junior teams going at it, playing a game, and this is all great. But there's actually a lot of sports science put into this, and I think it's really special to see that, this kind of level here. We got Peter Lonigan here, a very, very well experienced professional. He's been on coaching staff with the Australian Opals. He's done a lot of a tremendous amount of development work in the Sydney area and abroad, throughout Australia. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Pete.
Thanks, Tim. It's a great weekend of basketball, and it's great to see all four finals city versus country. That's what this event should be about. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, mate, it's special, mate. It really is. I know the Gosford City Rebels have been working really hard to go up against what has been just an absolute premier team in Sydney with this North Sydney outfit. We were talking earlier about the experience of Robbie McKinlay at Augusta State and the world of experience that he's had there. And we understand there's been some pretty special stuff going on down there at Norths. You've got a lot of really good professionals involved. There's a really good culture building down there, and it's great to see that, and it's great to see it transforming onto the court.
Yeah, we're lucky. Robbie decided that after 9 years in the States to come back and sort of fell in our laps, and I think he's probably one of the most talented young coaches in the country, and I think he's got a really bright future, and just his professionalism and his experience has helped us. And then we've got a great group of volunteer coaches that are pretty invested in getting better. So right now we're enjoying life and hope we can pinch a title or two from the local mob.
Well, I won't wish you luck on that, mate, that's for sure. Mate, tell us a little bit more about your role with what you're doing down there at North. So I think it's really important that we build awareness about what's going on and what's working successfully within associations.
We're fortunate because we're pretty well resourced. So my role is development manager, so it's to oversee all the development. So that's from learn to play right through to our representative teams, and throw in a bit of referees development there as well. Basically to support the coaches as much as we can, and to try and we've tried to put a system of play in called the North's Way. So there's a bit of consistency from 12s right through to 18s and potentially even seniors. So there's a bit of progression from the young ranks right through to our senior teams.
Oh, mate, that's great. Especially here in the grassroots basketball and the philosophy, the culture. I know Moose down there has been really big on driving that, and Chris Olbach here at the stadium at Gosford City. That's really special stuff, mate, and it's so important, that connection from the grassroots up right to the most senior level.
Yeah, and it's great to have people like, Moose with his experience playing, coaching, administrating. He's obviously one of the better sporting minds in terms of administration, on the East Coast. So to have a final here with this level of player, and you've got those two coaches, it's pretty high level stuff, and it's exciting. Yeah,
it is special, isn't it? You got you got a former a Kings coach, and you got a new up and coming Kings coach. It's it's got all these elements. You've got the city versus country. You got a tall, athletic interior game versus a team full of guards. There's plenty of yin yang to this, isn't there, mate?
There is, and it's a classic city versus country mentality. Moose has got his kids as always playing so hard and so much passion. They just get after it. So it is. It's a great contest, and I'm sure the second half's going to be really fun to watch.
That's great, mate. It's a pleasure having you, and I better take the mic back off you before Eddie jumps across and tackles you, mate. He's pretty keen to get it back.
Yeah, I've known Ed 20 years, and he's never short for a word. Okay.
Always lovely.
Look at Ollie Rebellion rubbing his hands together there. He's really keen to get back in this second half. I think you would say the third quarter is always the big quarter, mate. It's that quarter where you really got to put it together and either apply pressure to the team to put a team away, or give you a chance to really come back in.
You're 100% right, Tim. I'll even go one step further and say the first 3 to 4 minutes of the third quarter. Being up 13, you can take that out to 17, 18 points, or you can let them back into less than a double-digit figures.
Oh, I agree with that. Jeez, mate, look at that. Straight away, they're already getting the double teams, forcing them to penetrate, forcing them to take it off the dribble, and going with those early double teams. There you go. They're very measured there. I thought they might have looked to explore a little more in the transition, but they're going back to the rub pop X and just taking their time, sharing the ball. I guarantee you Moose would have talked to them about compounding pressure, just using the opportunity to consolidate and build a lead.
And Ollie Rebellion with the shot clock running down, building the pressure, as you said, hits the fadeaway.
Mate, that wasn't pretty by any sense, but it's very typical of Ollie. Just get the job done. Losing the ball there, but just cool, calm, and collected.
Oh, that's a tough call there. Matty Kenyon picks up his fourth foul. With 1 minute gone in the third quarter. Oh, hang on.
That's lucky.
That's
As you
lucky
say,
one.
lucky one for Matty there. That would have been a very, very tough situation for the Rebels to have him with 4 fouls.
Yep.
I'm sure he's going to be needed, during the second half of this game. That's for sure.
Well, they just held up second team fouls, so maybe there was a mistake in who they assessed the fouls to in the first half. But we'll have to. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Back to 14, Eddie. As you say, these first couple of minutes will be interesting. Yep, back to the rub pop X. That's a nice kick out. That's what you like to see, Eddie. Way to share the basketball. People often forget it's not about the shot that you get. I mean, they created a double team. Started with Ollie Rebellion with the kick out and the extra pass. To give Richmond a great opportunity 3, and it opens up for the offensive rebounds.
That's just some solid defense down there. Quick, active hands, and just people jumping off to help, being on that split line and looking to be active. If a man gets beat, always having somebody there to help out.
Yeah, Eddie. Mate, again, we talk about changing defenses. Moose has changed it again. This is unbelievable to see this at this kind of level. He's now gone to a swarm-style defense. So notice Ollie playing on his high hip and forcing an early penetration. This is something that Moose's good mate Dave Greenberg, they played together in the national championships way back when New South Wales country won the first ever national championship. And they've tinkered around with it for many years. Dave Greenberg brought it out from the college system. And Moose is one of those guys, very intelligent guy that just takes things that works and tinkers with them and applies them in the right situations. And that's what coaching's all about. So to see this at this level is fantastic. And Norse have changed it up. They've gone with a press. Again, I'm not sure that's to their favour, given the fact that they're playing against a guard-orientated team. There they go, sharing the ball again. You see, I like that, Eddie. There's a real cool, calm spirit about the team right now.
Nobody on the boards the last 2 possessions to make sure we're actually getting somebody in there looking for the
And it's back to Norths at their strengths, being able to get offensive rebounds. But you get the sense, Eddie, that there's just a lot of pressure on them right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just being able to make baskets, it's a tough challenge. Expectations, can really change a game.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And again, and a lot of times that expectation is pressure you put on yourself.
Absolutely. And this is where the compounded pressure really plays a big part. And what the Rebels are doing is clearly showing successful. This game is wide open. 15 points is nothing. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. The elements here in these next few minutes, I think, is going to be very important.
Yeah.
They've gone back to just a standard man-to-man there, mate. So, again, they've mixed it up again and forced a tough shot.
Yeah, exactly.
This is really impressive, Eddie, I've got to say, mate.
Oh, the Rebels really have them thinking on offense.
Great penetration and draws a foul.
Yep. I don't think Jordan Hunter really knows what hit him today. I mean, again, I've watched 2 of their previous games. He's been dominant in the side. In this game, that really large frame, which he's been able to plant inside the post on offense and stand around blocking shots on defense, has now had to start to move. And again, as I mentioned before the game started, Tommy will explore on whether or not he can get low and move his feet. And so far, the jury's still out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm North, I really want to, try and disrupt, but I still want to play to my strengths.
Yeah.
Clearly, the man-to-man, they're struggling with that, with the pop-X situation and stretching, getting stretched out, and the Rebels are putting their head in the noose and creating opportunities to create. So I think ideally the Norths have probably got to look to switch some of those screens. They've got to take an extra step back, force a shot with the hand, and keep their player in front of them. Here he goes, pop X again.
There he is.
Oh, see, that's a smart play. Geez, that's great basketball.
Oh,
tough shot.
Yep.
It's interesting to see early disruptions in transition, Eddie. You don't see that a lot. There's a lot of turnovers here, Eddie.
Yeah, well, again, like you said, this first few minutes of settling down period in the third, quite important.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's from bad basketball. I think it's, it's the elements of the pressure that we talked about, but it's also the elements of the compounded pressure. Both of these teams are really going at each other. I mean, it's very rare that you'll see in broken play transition that a team will go up and double team. Well, generally you're behind the 8 ball when you're in broken play transition. So it's an interesting tactic, but it's paid off for the Rebels.
Well, it's really paying off for the Rebels, as we may have mentioned before, because they actually had a lead to start off the quarter. If there's a few turnovers and no scoring, there's time running off the clock. So, again, Norths needs to create some turnovers, but at the same time, get some stops.
Oh, geez, that's a nice pass, Eddie.
That is beautiful.
That's great basketball. Nice pull through, little shimmy, little head fake, get a little stall, and create that rotational pressure.
What about Charlie Granger on the weak side? Just setting his man up, baiting, and then able to actually step in to receive that pass.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this game's going to get into a foul situation again for this third quarter, so the tactics around this, I think, is important. It really plays to the hands of the Rebels too. I think when you've got aside from foul trouble and guys getting fouled out, I think it creates an element for the guards to be able to get to the foul line.
Well, looking out here on the court, Tim, there's 6 players in this Rebels team that are top age that I've known have played together since they were under 12s. So, to see them come together, they know each other. They know where they're going to be. They played with each other for that long. So, and again, Moose has been there all along as well.
Yeah, no, it's been a great level of tutelage for these guys. There's some great coaches in this association, and to be able to have that and the likes of Moose all the way through is pretty special. I'll go back just in the game here. They've got the ball in the little short corner again on the rug pop X, and gives the guard with the quick feet a chance to get a running start on their bigs. It's really smart basketball against this Norths team.
Ooh, hands in the cookie jar. Couldn't help it, Dan. It presented itself. But, that's Tommy's second team foul, or second personal foul. You know, that's not really anything to worry about now, unless he picks up another quick, cheap one. But
yeah, but you're right, and you know, it's not that bad, but you know, you got to get away from that gambling. They're in a situation where part of compounding pressure, and Moose will tell you this, you know, you don't want to do anything to lift the lid on that cooker, man. Yeah. If you've got them under pressure, you want to stay away from fouling so you don't break the game up. You know, you put them to the foul line, and that's a seal of confidence. And you can see right now there's 5 team fouls for the Rebels, and Norths are going to the foul line. I guess the most important thing from this position forward, Eddie, is to continue to keep that pressure. I mean, to keep this North Sydney team to 29 points just shy of the third quarter is an outstanding effort.
Less than 10 points a quarter.
You give this team some confidence and momentum, and there's no telling what they can do. So I think just keeping that pressure up is the vital element of this game.
Yeah, 100% right, Tim.
And speaking of pressure, they're trying to put this full court press again. It doesn't seem to have really hurt the Rebels in any way. They're kicking back to a zone here. I think that's a smart thing. I know there's a lot of shooters. I know there's a lot of guards. But it just creates a different look for them. Yep. And there you got a miss, and you open it up in transition.
What we don't want to do is then go back into some complacency and start to trying to protect the lead more so than keep pushing at them.
Yeah, that's correct. You're leading there to a transition bucket. That's what they got to stay away from. Let's see how they go here against the zone. Just taking their time and pulling it apart, I think, is the important thing. Oh, geez, that's great from Ollie. That's a big rebound, Eddie.
That is a huge rebound. In the scheme of it, again, after they've Norths have actually gone on 2 baskets in a row,
right.
Starting to make a pullback off a missed shot.
Yeah, I mean, that rebound doesn't get taken, Eddie. They got a lot of momentum. You know, they run down. That's a 6-point swing. You know, Moose would probably be forced to call a timeout. I mean, their execution here, it's a very vital time.
Ooh. That's a quick trigger on that shot then.
Yeah, we've got a lot of misses. Come up empty from the perimeter. And look, it's just a little sway of momentum. Rebels have got to just tinker down and get those easy buckets.
That'll be that foul we were talking about earlier. Tom picks up his 3rd foul.
Yeah, and that's bonus, mate. Yeah, you can see Moose there just giving the boys some pointers about just relaxing, no fouls, letting Tommy know he's got 3. Just creating a high level of awareness is really important. And there's that 6-point swing, Eddie. This brings it back to 14 points, mate. This is going to be a game.
Yeah, 100% right.
They're pursuing with the press back to a zone. Getting to the short corner. That's where they want to get to. Stretch the floor, put it into the short corner. That's nice basketball, mate. And there we go, straight to the foul line.
That's going to be a bonus.
That's exactly what you wanted. You know, the perfect world for a coach right there. They go on a 6-point swing. You want to break the zone. You just want to get into the seams, get into those easy spots, mate, where you can pick apart a zone and break it up and get to the foul line. Would you agree?
I would 100% agree with you there. Again, I mean, I've been at 90% of their trainings this year, and the one thing that I can actually tell you, in that offense, it's all been practice getting to the short corner. It just makes the defense have to flatten out.
Yeah, absolutely. Leaving no stone unturned, mate. Getting the old cheeky screen across on the free throw.
Yep.
There's a lot of basketball intelligence being played by both teams out in this court. Yeah, you can see that little beat in their step with Norths. They're getting in deep. They're getting offensive rebounds. This is a big time for the Rebels to try and contain here. And Eddie, you'll notice the defense has changed. from creating a lot of penetration to just containing, and that's very intelligent basketball from the Rebels right now. You create that. If you allow the penetration while there's foul trouble, there's a swing in momentum. It can really change quick. So that was good to see.
Exactly. Well, every foul, like you said, it's going to put them on the free throw line. So, again, there's no need to actually have to push out that much because, obviously, you want Norths. They're going to beat you from here. You want them to have to beat you from outside.
Ticking away over here on the free throw line. It's pushed it back out to 17 points, possibly about to be 18. It was interesting. A lot of coaches, they, working with Shane Hill last year at the Sydney Kings, he had a figure of 6 points. If there's a 6-point swing, bang, there's a timeout. And putting flow, everything into perspective, it's just a straight 6 points. Moose's team, they had a 6-point swing and they kept their cool. They didn't call the timeout, and they've got that up their sleeve now. Some might say that's a gamble, but it seems to have worked here. Well, diving on loose balls, mate. This has got everything.
There's a lot of intensity out there.
It certainly is, mate. And you see that the Norths boys are feeling it at the other end with those turnovers.
I'll tell you what. If Moose was getting paid for this game, he would have earned up a fair bit. I think he's sweating more than the players.
You're dead right about this. I'm looking Moose on one end, I'm looking Robbie down the other end. And these guys are working for it. I've seen them both, coach in professional environments, and it's not any different. And that's what makes this special. Geez, that's great basketball, Eddie.
That's a tough shot, that is.
But again, they've shifted the ball. They've got it into the short corner. They're knowing how to attack the zone, and it's forcing Norths to make rush decisions on the other end. That's a big offensive rebound. Yeah, they really needed that bucket, Eddie.
Yeah. Again, that's where their height comes in play.
Yep. No doubt about it.
Oh, I thought Matt was going to set himself up for that one.
There you go. Turnover. Staying on one side of the floor.
Yep.
The last couple of plays have been outstanding basketball. They've shifted the ball. They've moved it. They've got it in the short corner. They've made the defense rotate. They get easy baskets at the foul line and gives them opportunity to get offensive rebounds.
Yep.
Oh, we've gone back to the double teams again. I'm not sure they need to do that right now.
No. But like you said earlier, last couple of plays down, it was a more containment D, and that was the one thing that actually had Norths thinking about what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Tinkering on the line there, Eddie.
Yeah,
That was nearly a back door.
Well, the new rules have to have all 3 points across the court.
No doubt
across
about
the
it.
halfway line.
There you go, getting into a deep catch. Another 6-point swing. We've had a 6-point swing one way, back to the Rebels, and then back to Norths. This is a fun game of basketball. See, again, we talk momentum, Eddie. As soon as you get a momentum swing, you got the Norths kid, pumped full of energy, getting a hand in the passing lane. It's a fun game, basketball.
That it is. And the beautiful part about basketball, once it's all said and done, there's always next week.
That's right. I'm not sure Moose and Robbie feel the same way right now, though, mate, I got to say.
Crackers comes on for the last 19 seconds of this quarter. Moose bringing on a knockdown shooter, so in case there's a breakdown, Crackers always finds the open spot.
Yeah, no doubt about it, mate. It's good. It's good timing for him and pressure time and the way they're collapsing in the zone. Oh, that's a nice move by Matty Kenyon. That's a nice move.
Mate, he's going to be an absolute superstar.
That's right. That'll end a 6-point swing. Now got to the foul line. And again, like we said, a little bit of momentum there. Look at him getting the lane. Oh!
You know what, Tim? After 10 minutes of hard play, you look up at the scoreboard and you think to yourself, as much as Norths had their runs, Rebels have had their runs, we go into the last quarter with a 16-point lead and, again, playing with some high intensity. Hopefully they can get home from here.
That's right. Absolutely. See them. This is a very important timeout. I see Daniel Rowe again earlier. Just there we had the camera on him going through his statistics on the computer. They won't be leaving any stone unturned here, that's for sure. I mean, it's just wonderful, mate, to see the technology today. That to see VPA really, going out of their way to put on a special production here with with the live streaming and bringing the game to the people. I think it's special.
Most definitely. Again, there wouldn't be many junior associations that would actually have the technology and the commitment from companies like VPA that will come out and do some type of video analysis and uploading and streaming of championship games on the local level.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I actually had Luke McCoy came in as a young man, very entrepreneurial, working very hard while at university, studying his sports science degree, and he's always really thinking outside the square. So to see him set up a great business that is really giving so much back to sport in our local communities is a special thing. Not to mention the likes of Dave Abrams, who's gotten behind him with V-Team. He's doing some amazing things with the NBN here, the National Broadband Network on the Central Coast. It really does give back a great deal to sport, and it just shows what technology can do for our game.
Taking players from little old Terrigal in Australia to the world.
Yeah, well, essentially that's what it does, mate. It brings the game of basketball closer. I mean, I'm sure, mate, in the next 5 years, our kids will be watching the state championships played in the USA. When I was growing up, I was lucky enough to do high school in America and in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I saw the likes of Lester Earl and Corey Powell go at it and play in front of 20,000 people at LSU in the old PMAC Center in Baton Rouge. And I got to tell you, mate, that was a special experience. Good friend of mine, Dave Patrick, who's now the associate head coach at LSU. The old Americans, they got some fancy names. So associate head coach is stock standard for first assistant in Australia.
That is 100%.
But David's he was instrumental in the recruiting at St Mary's of Paddy Mills and all of the other Australians that have gone there. And he's now at LSU, and he's just got one of the biggest coups in NCAA basketball and picking up young Ben Simmons, and he's actually the godfather of Ben, and Ben is very highly talented and on the likes of many, the eyes of many NBA teams right now. So it's just great. I know Dave would be excited because Dave will watch this game. He's got his eye, I know, on a couple of boys that are actually on this court right now. So to have that kind of global view, and it's a really special thing, mate.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Oh, that's great basketball again, Eddie.
Yep.
Straight out of three-quarter time to get that kind of execution. The ball shift, you get the little cross screen again, and getting Ollie cheese and biggies, mate, real close to the bucket.
And I'll tell you what.
Oh, that's a nice pass. That's a good feed. That's a good feed. I could imagine that Robbie's drawn that in and talked about how they're overplaying the post. Nice little simple high-low pass.
Well, Tim, that's what we were talking about earlier when you were saying, well, if you're down there and you're talking to your team, what would you be saying to them? And again, that's been their strength all championships. It's been inside, outside. This kid has been the big, what's his young name? Jordan Hunter has been the biggest kid here. And again, he's been very solid inside.
It's a nice free throw for a big boy, mate. He's no doubt got a bright future. That zone seems to have spread out quite a lot. They're really seeming to stretch out. I mean, that could help him and could hurt him.
I can feel a sub coming on there.
Yeah, it seems like it's, no doubt about it, mate. In that case, it's definitely hurt the Rebels. By trying to apply pressure. I mean, this is all about pressure, mate. Grand finals, it's all about pressure.
Swings and pressure, and you'll actually find if you got the defense now expanding or extending their pressure zone out, it's going to allow for a bit more penetration.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, but it's about having clear eyes, being able to understand that when that pressure's on, just take a deep breath and just relax and play what's in front of you. That's great defense by Matt Kenyon, and a nice little pick up there from the big fella. That brings it back to 10, Eddie. This is a ball game, mate, no doubt about it.
Oh, you always knew they were going to come.
I guess it's a matter of when. Back to the short corner. That's a really good pass. It's good basketball, and it's inside. It's out and getting shots. But the tough thing for the Rebels is their lack of size to be able to get those offensive rebounds. It's now down to 8 points, Eddie. We talk about pressure. This is where the pressure really comes on.
Yeah. There's the short corner. That's where we need to be getting the ball to.
Oh, that's a nice drive. That's a nice drive. Look at Ollie Rebellion fighting for position. We got block shots, mate. We got the whole box and dice right now. That's a nice spin move. That's a nice spin move. Now 58-52, Eddie. There's a big timeout for both teams. On one hand, you've got Robbie McKinley, who's super excited, dropped to one knee and talking about capitalising momentum. And then you flip to the other side and you got Moose, who's going to be saying to these boys, hey, let's all take a deep breath. Let's not lose sight of the fact that we're up 6 here, and it's all about getting back to simple basketball, doing the simple things well.
Again, you're saying exactly what Moose would be saying down there. You always knew North were going to make a run. They were always going to make a run. It's how you respond to that run.
Yeah, no doubt about it. See, Norths have finished with their timeout early. The Rebels guys are just taking a deep breath. You can see Moose just going at it on his board there. Just simple little things. It's just staying measured. You can just see with his temperament, mate. There's no stress there. I mean, you already said it. I mean, Moose is coaching like a professional. He's given every element of effort to this. These boys mean so much to him. They're just taking a deep breath.
Yep, exactly. Crowd's getting right into this game. North's extending the defense out, so they're going to be looking to put the pressure on.
Yeah, no doubt about it, mate. Yeah, there they are, early traps. You've got the woes of the crowd. Everybody's up on their seat there, nearly a turnover. It's not a bad thing. You've got to really stretch the that press out and look to attack the gaps, and that's what Matty's done right now. Eddie, that's just pressure. Yeah, he's done a great job of being able to create penetration and make a nice move and get a nice shot close to the basket. You can't ask for much more than that out of a kid.
I'll tell you what, but when you get there, you make the great move, and when you finally get there and they're 6'9" and under 18s at you, it makes it a little bit harder.
It does make it a little tougher, that's right. What I like to see is the fact that Matty's not stressed about it. He just let it go. That's a good sign of a great player. It's not about whether you're just making shots or whether you can string shots. It's about how you handle the shots, the tough shots that you miss. Because Matty's going to have the ball in his hands and be ready to make plays again.
I'm sure he will.
That's a big shot. He's giving him a 2 there. 4-point ball game, Eddie.
Yeah.
6.5 minutes to go. As we said, there's Matty Kenyon going in again. Hey, that's a big foul to draw. He's got 2 shots. That's as good as a layup, mate.
You don't want to be settling for the jump shot now when the team's actually making a big run at you. Drawing a foul and getting inside, it's the way to go.
No doubt about it, mate. I'm going to go back to, how you handle the miss. I mean, that's a great lesson. I hope a lot of kids are watching this. I hope a lot of kids are listening. When you miss a shot, you can't let it beat you. You just turn around, you find the right time, you play simple basketball, and you get your head on the rim again. Two big free throws right there. It'll be interesting to see what the Rebels do here. Will they pressure, or they will? Yeah, no. That's what I was thinking. That's a smart move by Moose. He's got to put them back into their switching zone. I think that's a smart thing to do right now.
Yep. That's looking at that call. I think it's going to be a matchup zone, knowing if there's a number 15 out there. Yeah, calling for their shooter.
Yeah, that's smart. No double teams. Just play smart basketball. They're switching guys out, coming off the stagger, taking away their shooting opportunities. They're a well-structured team, Norths, but they've definitely been forced to play outside of their game.
Bravo. Oh, yeah.
That's great D by Matty Kenyon. You notice there, he kept a close presence, but he really showed his hands to the referees. Sign of a well-disciplined kid. Smart move too. You just want to take a good basket. Continue to compound this pressure. Yeah, ooh. That's a blessing for Gosford City there. Missed shot in transition. You see Norths are hungry to try and get back in this game.
Just a bit of composure needed here.
There you go, inside out ball movement. Not overly pretty. Oh, that's a nice play. This really is great basketball, Eddie. To get the ball shifted, to go inside, and kick it out, stretch your team out, and just put your head at the rim again. That was a really nice floater by the young fella, mate.
Mate,
Did you teach him that?
Oh, mate, he's teaching me that.
I think the NBA could be teaching him that one, mate.
Got to come up with something new when you're that short.
I tell you what, though, Eddie, it's one thing to be able to get a floater, but it's two to be able to get a floater and draw a foul.
Yeah.
The timing of that was well timed. It was with great touch, and just to get that little body hit at the same time, it's creative. Yeah, that's where they wanted, Eddie. That's where they want it. Definitely want to get to the post there. They got good, strong movement. We're able to get a good post seal early.
With North pressuring up, it's going to be important that we actually try to get somebody middle pressure, so we're actually able to break this zone press that they're playing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely extended this zone. Just move the ball, share the ball with your teammates, work a little off the clock, and look to penetrate again. Just under 5 minutes, and there's 14 fouls for North. So the Rebels are now in the bonus situation.
Yeah, and that's just Tom turning, getting his shoulders in front of the defense, and just really attacking hard.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. They're going tick for tack here, mate. They're fighting for everything.
Boys on the ground getting after it. Again, this means a lot to them. This culminates in a long season.
No doubt about it, mate. I'm sure there's going to be tears either way, mate. There'll be tears of joy and there'll be tears of heartache, depending on what side of the ledger these boys sit.
That was excellent execution again there, attacking the basket. Shot doesn't go through, but again, it's the shot that you want.
You can see Ollie Rebelliard signing the dad. Do we go into man-to-man or stay in the matchup zone? They've gone back to the man, and that's great defense. That really is great defense, Eddie.
Yeah.
Young Matty Kenyon's doing a tremendous job. I mean, it's one thing to play defense like that, at any stage of the game, but it's two to do it under pressure, and it's three to do it with foul trouble.
Yeah. What I really liked was the no call by the referee. That was good defense, good offense.
Is that a little bias call there, mate?
Probably.
No, it was definitely a travel, an outstanding defense. Look at him shift this zone here now. The Norths, it almost looks somewhat between, it's more of a matchup zone. It's seemingly they're either trying to adjust or they're just getting stretched.
North player, I'm not aware where he was on the court, steps out of bounds on the sideline.
Yeah, I think it's that, and I think it's also the pressure up the lanes. Just that, the pressure up the lanes doesn't get you in foul trouble, but it stretches a team out and forced them out of court. It's good defense. Again, getting to that short corner. Moving the ball, stretching that team out. Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Give herself a bow.
Eddie, that kid, he's got an unbelievable future, Matt Kenyon. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's just big for your team, and it's part of the empowerment. They're empowered to do that. The team was completely relaxed, but to be able to have that kind of punch at the end of a shot clock, especially going off penetration against the zone, that's special stuff. Oh, that's a big no call.
Oh, that is a tough no call. Six-point game as Jordan Hunter checks back in. Down to 3 minutes left in the game. Rebels by 6. Big rebound by Ollie Rebellion. Again, we just want to control the ball a little bit and slow down.
There you go, Matty Kenyon again. Oh, that's a good play, mate. Be able to get there, get to the rim, especially when he's in foul trouble. This is where all the execution counts, Eddie. You're in the clutch. 6-point spread. Oh, see Norths are getting a little screen across there and a little rub pop themselves. Yeah, that's a big triple, mate. It's a 3-point ball game. You got Norths full of confidence. The Rebels are just taking their time. This game's got all the elements you're looking for in a grand final, that's for sure. I can't fault it, Ollie there. He's got penetration. He's normally a very high percentage in that shot. Yeah, so that pressure definitely affects young minds, that's for sure. It's a great hustle to be able to get that ball, but just being able to take that deep breath and relax. I dare say we're going to see a few big plays and a few slip-ups in these last minutes. Oh, wow, that's where they want it.
Yeah.
That's where they want the ball, but it's great desperation defensively. They remain in this zone. The zone's worked well for them, for Norths. Yeah, that's a tough shot.
We got 35 seconds to go. Rebels by 3.
Interesting to see what Norths do. They take their time and get an easy shot. They try and go a 2-for-1. There's no real structure to that, but that's a big play. That's the kind of play they want. Norths, after they shoot these free throws, they're definitely going to be forced to foul. It'll be interesting to see what they do. No doubt, we talked about it earlier in the third quarter. Moose saving his timeouts. I'm sure after the second free throw, he'll have a nice little play here to make sure he's getting the ball in the right hands, because North will be forced to foul.
They'll have to foul. The one thing you'll actually find is the boys, they should have known they were always going to come back at him. They were always going to come at him, and like I said, the boys have actually lifted, and they're looking to play hard. You got guys walking off the court, cramping up. This has turned into be the type of grand final you wanted it to be for a state title.
Well, Eddie, mate, no bones about it. For the Rebels to be in this position, it's an absolutely huge achievement. North Sydney have been undefeated in the toughest league in New South Wales, and to come up against them and put up this kind of performance and put themselves in a position to win. I don't think we could ask any more of our young juniors, that's for sure.
No, for sure. Like I said, you're 100% right there. And again, seeing these guys all year long, this is what they've trained for. You can see it in the desperation. You can loose balls on the ground, diving on them, and just overall effort. And again, you add into that the smarts that the boys are showing. And again, they deserve this 3-point lead, and hopefully they can hold on and get the win from here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, how they come out of this timeout and how they handle this pressure situation. If I'm down the other end and I'm Robbie McKinlay, my mindset is I want to create a disruption. I would even personally consider making a first free throw, missing the second with the kind of bigs that they have, and then it puts it into a tied ball game, and you've got a foul anyway.
Yeah.
Because he'll have a timeout up his sleeve. He'll be able to call a foul if need be. Moo's just thinking the same thing. He's got timeouts up his sleeve too.
Oh, that's a costly miss there.
That's what makes things unique about basketball, mate. The fact that there's so much tactics to it on the court and off the court. Well, there's the offensive rebound, but it was without the first free throw. He's obviously lost sight of the fact that they were down 3, Eddie. It's tough to play in these environments.
It puts a lot of pressure on a young player's mind.
What I would say is the most impressive thing about this Rebels team today is the fact that different players have had a big impact at different stages. You talk about the smarts of Ollie Rebellion in the trail spot and the decisions and getting those little cheap buckets around the basket. You talk about Tommy Akamarmoy, the play after play he was doing in the first quarter and second quarter to make a big impact in this game. And now the way Matty Kenyon's come out and finished this is just special.
And that's the ball game. Gosford City Rebels are 2014 state champions, crowned the #1 team in New South Wales.
Yeah, mate, this is special. This really is special. Such a huge achievement. This really is special, Eddie.
I can see it now. There'll be a couple of parents being told, I don't know if I'm going to school tomorrow.
I'm sure that's the case. How does this make you feel, Eddie, as a father of one of the boys out there? I mean, Richmond had a tremendous game. He really made that floater in the dying stages to get to the foul line, didn't turn the ball over. That's what you want out of a point guard, to be able to run a team, hit a big shot in the first half. How does it make you feel to see him achieve this?
You know what, Tim? I can honestly say to you, I feel more excited about watching him win a state title than I ever did about anything I won. As a parent, you just kind of you tend to think all of the different things you've achieved in life, and then you look at your kids do something like that, and it's really special.
Yeah, mate, that was special to hear. I mean, here you did in a talk within our Crusaders program. I heard you talking about the most inspiring time has been this moment, to be able to sit back and watch your boy play and not coach. And there's a lot of really good parents here, and to see these guys through it must make you feel special, mate.
That it does, Tim. That it does. Again, at the sponsors tonight at the Terrigal Bowling Club. I'm sure there'll be a few teary eyes there and a few happy kids. So, yeah, it's good.
I tell you what, Eddie, I think you better get off this mic and get down there. I know I know you're looking forward to it, mate. Go and celebrate it with those young boys,
I will.
mate.
Thanks, Tim.
God bless you, brother. This has been a special production to be able to put this together. Luke McCoy, VPA. You must be proud of some of the things that are going on here. How do you feel about being able to deliver this back to the community, mate?
Oh, Tim, it's awesome. It's more of a privilege for me than work, to be honest, to be able to come. A lot of history I've got personally with basketball on the Central Coast, but with all sports. But I mean, what a win! What a time to come and do it. It's just unbelievable to watch and to see the Rebels, top of the state. Is fantastic. I couldn't be happy, honestly. Well, it wasn't work for me today, but look, it's been great, and thank you to you and Eddie for jumping on the mic. Often it's hard to find people who want to jump on a mic, but it's been fun today, and look, I look forward to pushing this into the future. I know next week we'll be streaming live all of the Crusaders games, the triple header here, so that's a step forward for me, and I'd love to continue to stay involved with the sports stadium here and with Chris and with Central Coast Basketball.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. It's exciting for us, and your contribution is very, very much appreciated. You talk about Chris Holbeck. He's given up a lot to be back at the stadium. He had a tremendous job at the Sydney Kings, and he gave that up for his family. He's just had after the birth of his beautiful baby daughter, to be able to come back and contribute so much and give up a career path, I think is very special.
No, it is. Look, we've had, as I said, a fair bit to do with through my sister Alana, but we've had a fair bit to do with yourself and with Chris and with Moose. And look, it's just fantastic to see. I mean, it's just thriving. The stadium today, apparently with the Opals coming a few weeks ago as well. Chris was saying it was just a fantastic reception, a great crowd. So it just seems like basketball here on the Central Coast is so lucky, to be honest, with having yourself and Moose obviously coming back from the Sydney Kings. It seems like this is the second home of the Sydney Kings almost. So it's it's fantastic. I mean, the scenes here are just unreal.
Yeah, mate, it really is in a special place, mate. We're definitely we're growing. We're looking outside the square for different opportunities and things that we can do, and a massive part of this is this technology, the kind of contribution that you're putting forward here. Mate, it really is special stuff. I wanted to go back to what we were talking about earlier, talking about this game getting stretched out and, going, like college coaches, looking in on this kind of, footage and technology to be able to assess, future stars, halfway across the world in the United States. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, look, that's exactly what, that's why I'm sort of in. I guess the business is predominantly started around analysis, but a big part of analysis is obviously getting appropriate video footage first. And we're at a stage now with technology where we can actually broadcast live, and we can do it from remote areas, and we can do it relatively cheaply. So now associations can actually afford to be broadcasted, and look, it just gives an opportunity for that worldwide audience, and it gives an opportunity for these talented kids to basically be scouted, in a sense, to get their talents out there, and with having video footage across all their games also allows obviously that video coding analysis that comes into it, which I know obviously you've been heavily involved with the Kings and even obviously with the Crusaders as well. So look, for us, it's fantastic for us to be able to deliver this type of service locally, especially. I mean, a lot of the stuff we do is, we've got to go into Sydney, but I've targeted this stadium and had extensive chats with Chris and obviously yourself putting me forward to Chris. And look, it's where we want to be, and I think moving into the future, this is the sort of thing that you can't go backwards from. Once it starts, that the demand's going to be there. Look, we look forward to being a part of that going into the future. So,
no, that's great, mate. It really is. It really is great to hear, and it's special stuff. You talk about the pathway and how things have evolved. You're coming into the Sydney Kings, doing your prac work for university and talking about all the things that you'd love to do, and to see it actually come to play and in the association that you've come from, it's a special thing, and it must no doubt warm your heart that you're already in this position.
No, it does, and as I said, we want to keep pushing it forward. We're always looking to innovate and get involved with the local community, and I mean, I've been lucky enough to know people such as yourself that have given me the opportunity and given our company the opportunity to sort of step in and provide something that previously hasn't been provided. And as I said, I think now that we can provide this type of service moving forward, that I think realistically we've always got to be looking to push forward, and certainly from a promotion standpoint as well. This is great for the community. It's great for the basketball stadium. It's great for the Rebels and the Crusaders, and it's great for visiting teams. There's going to be parents all around the place that are going to be able to watch this. They obviously some people can't come in person, but they can stay home and they can watch it in the comfort of their own house. So look, we love it. We've been very lucky, and we appreciate the fact that we've been allowed to come in here and provide this.
Speaking of contributions, mate, I think and I hope you don't mind me giving you a plug here, but your support of the Crusaders Championship men's team with the VPA sponsorship, I think it's been absolutely awesome to be able to do that and support someone who's very dear to my heart, and that's young Eric Barrett. For those that don't know, Eric Barrett is 16 or 15 years old, pushing up to his 16th birthday. He's got cerebral palsy, was told he'd never walk, would struggle to talk. He's had multiple leg operations just to be able to get functionality, hamstrings cut, legs broken, and did 6 years of intense physiotherapy before taking his first steps at the ripe age of 12 years old. And to have that kind of determination and motivation, and what you're talking about here is giving people a chance to be involved in different ways and inspiring people to do it. You're somebody who's come through as a player, your sister was a player, great love for the NBA game. Now you got a young boy like Eric Barrett, who when I first spoke to him didn't think that he could have a position in the game of basketball. But I talked to him about coming on as an assistant coach. He not only came on as an assistant coach, he's got into analytics. You've sponsored our team. You've given him the chance to be able to communicate, because he communicates very freely with text messages. Yep. He's connected to a bunch of boys that he really looks up to, and that's now led on to doing video analysis. A boy with cerebral palsy doing video analysis at an NBL level. And just going over just recently, as I mentioned, to the NBA to work with a couple of different NBA teams. That must make you feel special to be a part of that and doing your part to contribute and inspire.
It does, and I've actually I've been lucky enough to have a conversation with Eric recently on over the phone, and look, I've been following closely, I guess, the text messages that come through, as I'm still part of the Crusaders team in your online V-team system. And look, it's been fantastic with what he's done, and I guess the welcome that you've given him into the team. I think, speaking to him is that the Crusaders are they're a family for him, and look, that's fantastic. And considering someone myself who's been so interested in doing analysis, and that's basically where I started doing all this. Like, it's unbelievable that he's involved in that sort of thing at the moment. And it just shows, with technology moving forward, with video that can be provided now, and having young people like Eric who can jump in and basically have a crack, it's unreal. I mean, look, that's what dreams are made of, really.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic to hear. I mean, he's an awesome young kid, and look, no one can imagine what he's been through, but the fact that he's still just got a smile on his face and he's still cracking along is just unreal.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
You talk about basketball there. You could just show the video of. We'll go back to it. Little basketball. That's Eric Barrett's younger brother, Tommy Barrett, and Crusaders player William Bates. That's the pureness of that. The pureness of that kind of relationships and dreams for young ballers, being able to work with senior players. Yeah, there we are. Back to the footage. with William Bates and young Tommy Barrett, Eric's brother. Yeah, it's a really tight club here, and it's we're really going to a special place. You see James Trustham just back to his right, and the old back cap backwards. He's come up through this association as a guy that played with Moose and actually won a state championship with Moose, the Gosford City Rebels, which is paved a path for him to essentially be living a dream. As a development player with the Sydney Kings and coming out through this association. James, unfortunately, he's had foot surgery this year that's really disrupted his championship men campaign, but he's looking to be back on the court soon, and hopefully it's soon enough for us to still be able to make the playoffs.
Yep, awesome. No, that's fantastic, and it's great to see. Obviously, you're still heavily involved, obviously, with the Sydney Kings, and as I said, the community around here I think's really taken on board the Sydney Kings. As I said, it's a second home here, and to see players come down and still be involved in the development around the coast and obviously in Sydney, and with Moose's involvement throughout the years from head coach and into management role, and the fact that he's still here with the Academy of Sport, still obviously heavily putting into the community, and to see him still here, and then obviously he's got a young son, Ollie, who featured in this game. It's just fantastic to see people with such experience and such knowledge that are still putting back into the community here, and it's just fantastic. It's what the Central Coast is about here, and especially this basketball stadium. I know well from my sisters, it just keeps putting in, and the stories that come out of here and the opportunities that they get, with the Sydney Kings as well, and with you, it's just fantastic. I think you guys have done a killer job here, and you continue to. You don't look like slowing down either, mate. So.
Nah, not at all. But I tell you what, it all comes back to Moose. Moose is he paved these pathways a long time ago when playing as an iconic figure. We'll focus in down on Moose now, and he really is special. You see him drinking from the bottle of water. He's really earned his thirst in this game. This is juniors basketball, and to him it's just as important. I would say more important. From what I know about Moose, he's always has a greater purpose. And when he first asked me to come in and join him at the Kings, I was absolutely flabbergasted. And to think that he'd want to bring me in on that journey, and what he taught me along that time is just absolutely amazing. People see him as a hard-nosed competitor. They see him out, from when he played in his playing days, and how much passion he puts on the court. But I have to say, he's just a very, very selfless, caring man. What he's done for me, I could never thank him enough. And all I'm trying to do is trying to pass that on. And if I can honour that way, just like you said, it's a privilege, and trying to give back. And there's always a person who talked about it's not the name on the back of the jersey, it's the one on the front. It's all about your club, it's all about your community, it's all about those around you, and that's far more important.
No, sir. I mean, look, I've had close connections with Moose. Moose actually, as I said, I did a bit of an internship with you guys at the Kings with Moose there, and he actually gave VPA an opportunity with the Academy of Sport. We went down to the Academy of Games 2 years ago, and he gave us our first opportunity to jump in, and it's just the experience and knowledge of the man that he just keeps putting back in. That's what I see, looking a little bit sort of more from the outside, and just to see him still hanging around, and he just, as it looks like you, he's not going to stop with his young boys involved, and with the Academy of Sport, just the talent that's coming out of that, and the effort that he puts into that to keep that alive on the coast and keep cruising through. It's unreal. He's an awesome man, and I think he's just going to keep going. I don't see him stopping either. So it's unreal.
Yeah, no, it is, mate. And you talk about technology, and you got Hannah Pate there, who's a social media delegate at the club, and putting a lot of effort into this. And I think once we start to align all the moons and put all the technology together, it could be pretty special where we go. Not just as a club or as a community, and our basketball community. So it's great to see the type of collaboration we have here. We talked about Daniel Rowe earlier, and the work he was doing on his laptop, and I think it's just great to see that sort of stuff. And the young man just to the right of him, Will Granger, and excuse the little pick there, but but Will's a champion young guy who's really worked hard to developing his coaching. He's only just first year out of youth league. He took this team on with Moose. He took on the youth league team, who's had unprecedented success. So to follow in the footsteps of Chris Oldback, it's a tough thing. We talked about that during the game, the challenges of expectation. Robbie having to coach this team, after going through undefeated, it puts you in a challenging position, because that momentum can really flow strong. So I've got nothing but admiration for young Will Granger. I think he's got a huge future to be able to say, okay, I want to take on that kind of pressure, and and just not worry about the effects of that, and just focus on coaching young players. That's what coaching's all about. It's not about getting the trophies. It's not about winning the big games. I'll go back to young Matt Kenyon and what makes him a champion and gives him such a bright future. When he was going to the basket and he didn't get make those buckets in the crush, in the crunch time that would have put other kids under a ton more pressure. And then he turns around and comes back with 3 or 4 plays to finish out the game that really iced it up. And it really just says something about character. And I'll go back to Will, to coach in those environments and to put yourself under that kind of pressure, and give nothing but your best and enjoy it. It's good. That's sport.
No, it is. And look, a motto that I sort of hold close to heart with this business was always youth development. Coming from more of a football background but a basketball love, something that I really wanted to focus on was from 8 up. It's not necessarily about first grade. It's not about your wins. As we look at a funny conversation going on down on the camera,
yeah.
But no, look, youth development, that's where it's at. Everything that we push is pushing towards developing youth and giving them that opportunity moving forward. And I think that's, unfortunately, from my experience, gets neglected a little bit. Coming from a football background, it's all about first grade, it's all about wins, it's all about promotion. And often the youth get neglected. I know growing up, I didn't have these opportunities to be able to look at myself play, to have the analysis, to have people necessarily caring too much. But I think things are changing in the right direction. And look, that's what we're about. Let's give these kids an opportunities, just as professionals would. And that's something that we're very, very fond of, and that's what as a business we stand for. So
yeah, no, that's special stuff, mate. To talk about that and being the forefront of your focus, being junior basketball or junior sports, sorry, I should say. It's that's special, mate. It's really good. It's been a real privilege, mate, to be able to sit here and commentate with you in the first live streaming, and hopefully there'll be a lot of great events like this. That obviously now, as you said, once it starts, you don't stop.
No, that's right.
That's right. It's building it up and doing something special. So I look forward to being a part of the journey, mate. And I thank you for bringing me in at this point.
No, awesome, and thank you for jumping on the mic today. I know it was a little bit, it wasn't rehearsed. I'll say that much, but thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate Eddie jumping on. It's just words bring the pictures to life often. It's normally said the other way around, but when watching sport, we're used to hearing commentators, and look, at a junior level and local level like this, I think it brings a real professionalism, especially with a man of your experience behind the microphone. Look, I think when people are watching this footage, they're going to really appreciate that. And I think the players will as well. I'm sure they're going to go back and re-watch this as it's an unreal memory. I think they'll never forget. And now it's on video, and it's got you talking about it. So, like if I was a player, what's better? Nothing better, mate. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Mate, it's my absolute pleasure. It's fun, mate. and I got to be honest. I do have a reputation of throwing out the odd words. So
So do I, actually. So do I. I think my partner would probably agree with you there as well. So.
All right. Well, I just want to say thanks again, and thank you to all the basketball community. It's super exciting. Get behind VPA, and we'll sit quiet and wait for these introductions to come out. Thanks again, Luke.
No worries. Thanks, Tim.
Chris is going to be speaking on next couple of days. I'd also at this stage like to thank the referees and referee coaches, not just for this weekend, but through the whole year. They've put a huge effort and thank you very much. Without you, the games would have happened. Before we get to the presentations, I'd also like to thank the events department of Basketball New South Wales. We've got Yelly, where are you? She's hiding. Yelly and Chanel new to the events department this year. And the head of the events department got seriously ill. So at the beginning of the year, she missed the whole season. So Debbie Cheers from our referees stepped up with Yelly and Chanel and made the season operate as smoothly as it possibly could. So thank you, Debbie, Yelly and Chanel. Finally, I'd like to thank all the associations, volunteers, the coaches and managers, and all the parents that supported their kids all through this long season. Without you guys all working, none of this would be possible. So give yourself a round of applause. Okay, now the big finals. We'll start out with under 16 girls, under 18 girls. Presenter will be Jenny Dean, the board member of Basketball New South Wales. Jenny. This grand final is between the North Bears and Newcastle Hunters, and the North Bears came out winning 95-55. Congratulations to both teams for the game of Newcastle. Congratulations. And we have the captain of the 2014 Under 16 Division 1, the North Bears.
Elise. Wayne. Ben. Ella. Dan. And Tom.
Now I call upon the referees of the grand final, Hayley Cole and Lauren Hughes. The most valuable player of the under 16 Women's Grand Final goes to Ellie Carroll on the stands. Congratulations, Ellie, and all the stands. The grand final of the under 18 girls this year was between the North Bears and the Gosford City Rebels. It was run by the North Bears 86-58. We had a captain of the Gosford City Rebels come up and introduce their team.
Jess. Kay Thomas. Kay Ferry. Kay Skelton. Maddie. Charlie. Brooke. And Demi. Deb. Zoe.
Runners up, the Gosford City Rebels. Congratulations. Now, call upon the officials of the grand finals, Daniel Ronfield and Josh Knight, come up for the second meeting. And now, the captain of the 2014 Under-18 girls, the North Bears.
Just quickly, I'd like to thank Gosford for a good day this year. I'd like to wish all the top 80s good luck in all their future endeavours. I'd also like to thank Gosford and the officials for helping make this tournament run smoothly. I'd also like to thank my team. We've had a great season, 21 and 0 in Sydney, and it's been a good way to see my top 80 year out. I'd like to thank Alec for being such a good coach. I'd also like to thank Joe for being enthusiastic for the sideline every day. I'd like to thank Bruce and Kim for always being organised and telling us what to do and where to go. And yeah, so thank you. Ali?
The 2014-18 girls champions. Congratulations. And the most valuable player of the grand Sorry, you caught up. Okay, so for the under 16 boys, this was between Bankstown and Illawarra. Exciting game, decided in overtime. The winner was Bankstown 84-79. So can we have the captain of the Illawarra Hawks come up and introduce the team?
Just like to quickly thank Bankstown for a great game. It was tough in the first game and it was tough in the final. Renzi. Dan. Weasel. Brandon. Wallace. Will. Morse. Crane. Jonah. Mark. And I.
The runners-up and the country champion 2014 the Illawarra Hawks. Just an interesting note of the 8 grand finals this year, seven of them were played out between the #1 seed in the country and the #1 seed from Metro. The results go through. Congratulations, Illawarra Hawks. And now the champions, the under 16 boys, Division 1, the Bankstown Brewers. We have a captain.
And the marker, so chop, pile, it's okay. Fire, Dragon, David, Errol, Bosco, Bailey, Ben, Troll, and Billy. I'd just like to thank Illawarra and John for a tough game. You're definitely the best defensive team we've ever played against, so full credit to you and congratulations.
The 2014 under 16 champions, the Bankstown Brewers. And the football officials, the grand final, Richards. and Ben Williams have come up and received the award. They work overtime today. Thank you, Judy. I'd like to call upon Stuart Johnson, a long-time volunteer for country basketball, coach media teams, and Stuart recognises the volunteers that make basketball possible. So he's representing all of you volunteers. So thank you, all of you volunteers. The grand final of the under-18 boys was fought out between the Gosford City Rebels and the North Bears. It was won by 62-59 by Gosford Rebels. I'd like to call upon the captain of the North Bears to come up and receive the runners-up trophy.
I'd like to thank Gosford for the game. It was definitely the toughest game of the season, and we just couldn't come back from the deficit we had at half-time and third time. But credit to my boys for pushing it to the end, and lucky goalie. James Brown. Waratah. Whitmore, Hudson, Jordan Hunter, Jack Murphy, and Sean Roger. Rory Gilly and manager Julie Method.
The runners-up and the Big Track champions for 2014 North Bears. Okay, I'd like to call upon the referees in the grand final. Right, we see there was Logan Philby and Joe Kelly. And the final presentation for tonight, and it's appropriate. It's the Home Association of Gosford City Rebels 2014 Whitmore Championship. Tom Conway. Matt Kennedy. James Brown. Christian Whitmore. Charlie Waratah. Hannah Murray. Real fun to play. To all the parents for the support, and all the support crew, it was great to see these behind. And the Metro referee of the year, Hayley Cole. And the Southern referee of the year, Aidan May. Congratulations, thank you too. Everyone have a good trip. Keep safe.